to the Helix webinar series. Today's session is on DWPC and Smart-IT. We're going to be covering data migration using the Helix Data Manager, that's the HDM tool. Today's presenter is Murali Vishwanathan. This is the second session that we've done today. We had one this morning. Hopefully you're going to find this helpful. It's going to be quite a long webinar, so it's roughly around 50 minutes long. We do have a couple of demo videos we will also be playing. What I will encourage is if you could use the Q&A section of Zoom. At any point, put your questions in. We do have a great set of panelists that will be able to answer those questions, and we will have roughly around 10 minutes at the end to answer any questions live. Just a reminder, this does go out onto our social media platform. So if you can just take a note, if we do speak to you live, if you do want to change your name, now is the opportunity to do so. And we will be sharing this content out post-event on a thank you email and the Q&A that came from this morning. So I'm now going to hand over to our presenter, Murali, to get started and talk about today's agenda. Over to you, Murali.
Thank you, Sam. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Murali Vishwanathan. I'm going to be covering the topic today. So the topic is about using our HDM tool, Helix Data Manager tool, to migrate DWP catalog and Smart-IT data, right? So we'll be looking at some planning and prerequisite steps, followed by DWPC migration steps, and followed by a demo. Same thing for Smart-IT. So same thing, like we look at the steps and demo, and then finally we'll also share some common troubleshooting issues and resolutions, and then we'll go for Q&A. Thank you so much. So this tool or these process or these tools and the packages, the HDM pack is going to be available here, can be used for both processes. When I say both processes, either for the on-premises to SaaS, Helix SaaS migration, or for an on-premise deployment and a migration kind of a scenario, upgrade kind of a scenario. So the places where I'm highlighting is where the tool will be used, right? So during the initial downloading the tool, making sure you download the packs and everything, then doing the actual initial data migration with the packs, and then doing a pre-final data migration, and then the immediate cutover and the go live. So these are the stages where I'll be using this tool for this purpose. Something very similar for the on-prem deployment and migration process. So this is these are the links for the on-prem deployment and the previous link for the SaaS deployment process. So something very similar. You'll be using the tool on these stages. So what are the prerequisites for DWP catalog migration? So DWP catalog migration has like some pre-steps and post-steps, just letting you know. So the typical migration path is, so the HDM tool is available to be used for ITSM, Smart-IT, DWP catalog, right? Data, right? So once you complete your ITSM data migration is where we recommend you to do the DWP catalog migration. So what are the packs involved? So there are like two major packs, about the migration pack and the process migration pack, and then on top of that, you will be also downloading the pre-migration scripts, as I told you, and then there are post-migration scripts as well. So for the data update for the DWP catalog, and there's also there are some scripts you'll be downloading from the EPD. So those are these tools which will cover on the demo, like when you'll be using them. And then furthermore, if you go look at this documentation, it'll tell you. So one of the prerequisites is to be run on the on-prem side, and ensure there's no duplicate information, duplicate category. So those are detailed on the link. So what are the components for digital workplace migration? So we have the as I said, two packs. One's the migration pack, and one we call that process migration pack. The migration pack basically takes care of all your services data, your services forms and surveys and entitlements, wherein the process migration packs takes care of all your process data, like process and process elements and so on and so forth, right? So that's basically what it covers. So there are kind of, I would say, like 13 steps in this migration. So, and all these are covered in the demo. So first and foremost, it's the registering process. Then you make sure that you're able to connect your source and target systems, and you're able to discover again for connecting to your source and target when you go follow the process for the on-prem to SaaS migration or the on-prem deployment migration. There are steps where it will say how to register for local source and target, how to register for a remote target. All those information is available on the documentation as well, and we also covered in the previous HDM webinars, right? So registering those, copying your templates, run the pre-migration scripts. There's something very important on DWP catalog, which is we got to create your group mappings, because we are moving from a multi kind of a schema. So for example, DWPC had multiple schemas on the non-converged platform. You're going to be moving to a single schema. So that's where these we are moving from a group form, which was maintained separately, to the actual air system group form. So those details are covered there. And of course, you're going to export your data, import and post-migration scripts. And another important part of the DWP catalog is again fixing your overlay definitions and updating your group caches, right? So those are little bit additional steps compared to the ITSM migration you have done before. So let's go to the demo. So again, the demo is being recorded by my colleague Anita, so you'll be hearing her voice.
Hello everyone.
Perfect.
In this video, we will walk you through the steps involved in DWPC migration. In DWPC migration, we have two migration packs. Let us take a look at the migration packs. So we can see template DWPC migration and template DWPC process migration. In template DWPC migration pack, we can see the forms related to the services, service requests, surveys, and entitlements. In the process migration pack, we can see the forms related to process and process definitions. Let us take a look at the system configurations required for the migration. We can navigate to configuration, register and configure systems. For the first migration pack, which included tenant forms, we need to register the source system as type DWPC. When we select the type as DWPC, we will be able to input catalog and tenant details under the database section. So we can give the catalog's schema name in catalog physical DB name field and the tenant schema name in tenant physical DB name field. The logical DB names of catalog and tenant should always be entered as catalog and tenant only. In this source system, we also need to make sure that under Properties tab, we can see unique ID transform having a value. This prefix should be different from the prefix that is available in your ITSM source system. For this first migration pack, the target system should be having the type remedy. So if you see, the remedy type system will be configured for your ITSM migration as well. So we can continue using the same target system for DWPC migration. For the process pack, we need to register both source and target as type relational database. For process source, when we enter the type of relational database, we will be able to provide the tenant schema name in your database name field. As my system is MS SQL, I have provided the schema name as DBO, and the logical name should always be entered as default. Similarly, in the target process system, we can see the type is a relational database, and we have given the network address and network details here, database details here. And in the schemas tab, we can see the AIA schema name provided here, and the logical name should be given as default. Once the systems are registered, for each system, we need to create a HDM user. Using action, create HDM database integration, we can create an HDM user inside the database. For that, we need to provide the system admin username and password here and click on create database integration. The HDM users are already created for the demo purpose. Next step would be getting the database character set. So on clicking this database character set, we will be able to get the DB collation of the system, and also you can notice the system will be enabled for data migration. Repeat the steps for all your other systems. Once these are all complete, we can discover the data discoveries. From action menu, click on discover data dictionary and click on discover and track. This would discover the data dictionary of the system. Repeat that for all the systems. Let us take a look at the discoveries. So first, the system that we have registered as type DWPC, we'll go to the data dictionary and we can see that this dictionary will have two sets named catalog and tenant. We can also see the list of forms under both catalog and tenant dictionary sets. A process discovery will be having only the list of forms, and there will be no set. There will be only one set which will have all the tables inside that schema. Now the systems are ready. We can further continue with the file system configurations. As we will be running two migrations, we need to configure file system connections. First, for DWPC source and the Oracle remedy target. Here, we can configure a shared or separate file system according to the network configurations. Similarly, we need to configure file system for our DWPC process source and process target. Now, this dictionaries and file system configurations are complete. We can go to our migration packs and create the custom migration packs to our discoveries. Example, we'll go to the template DWPC pack, the first pack, which is having all the tenant and catalog forms. We need to copy this template pack to our DWPC source and the remedy target. And click on copy migration pack. Similarly, the process pack should be copied to process source and the process target. So after clicking copy migration pack, we can see the migration packs getting generated here. These two are the packs that we have created. We can see the tenant forms in here, and in the process, we can see the process related forms. So these will be the packs we'll be using further. So for DWPC migration, we also need to perform a clear down of DWPC. For that, we need to have the template clear down pack according to your target version. This template pack should be copied to your remedy target. We would have already done this step in part of ITSM migration. So we can make use of the same clear down pack. Before doing the clear down, there are some pre-migration scripts to be run. For that, we can go to, first we'll go to DWPC process source and click on administrate. As part of metadata imports, we import some data update templates related to DWPC, which are data update template DWPC 2002 or 2008 to 23.3 and pre-migration scripts underscore DWPC process source. So this is for our process source. So what we will do is we click on run data updates, select your process source and select the process source template in here and click on create new data update job. This will create a job in under track data update jobs. We can see the list of scripts, and once the scripts are visible, we need to go run these scripts one by one. First, we will run first 3 scripts and also set DWPC group assigned to migrate script using run selected script. So these 2 scripts we are ignoring because they are related to 2008. In the demo, we have the source system version as 2002. So we need to similarly perform a step in DWPC source. For that, we go to administrate and under data updates, we click on run data updates, select our DWPC source. Here we need to select this DWPC template and click on create new data update job. We can see the job created here. Here we just need to run this tag groups link to VM and click on run selected script. Now there is a pre-migration script to be run in DWPC target. So we need to select the target remedy system, click on administrate. Here in data updates, we need to run data updates for the target and select your DWPC template, create a new data update job. So we can see the job here. And in this job, we only have to click on this pre-migration backup and run selected script. This will create a backup of some tables in your target system, which will later be used in the migration. So now we are good with pre-migration steps. We can go ahead with the clear down. So for clear down, we need to click on delete data. For delete data, we click on delete data and select our Oracle target. And we can see the export template listed here. We need to select DWP catalog 2002 and above. Click on next, and we can increase the number of threads and click on confirm delete. This will create first an export job, which will export the data, and then on confirmation, the delete operation will be performed. So click on start export. And I have clicked on confirmation on delete, and we have got the data deleted. Now we can proceed to the DWPC migration. For that, there is a utility named build HDM CSV. This utility needs to be run before performing DWPC data migration. For that, we need to run select group ID group name from group underscore X query in your tenant database of source, and then save the output as source.csv. Similarly, run the same query in your target database and save the output of the query as target.csv. So we need to place both the source and target CSV files in your build HDM CSV folder, and then using these commands, we can run that utility based on your Python version. You can use any of these commands. You can see that our source.csv and target.csv are given as input to the file, and this utility will generate two files for us named output.csv and output.2.csv. So once the utility is run, we will be able to see both of these CSV files in here. We can ignore output to CSV file, and we will be using this output.csv file in our HDM data migration pack. So for that, we need to select our custom migration pack, which is having tenant and catalog forms. You can click on form mapping. You can see a tab named data enrichment. If you see, there are 5 group ID list transform mappings here. So we need to select each row and go to mapping data. Here, upload CSV, choose file, select the output CSV file and click on upload. Once uploaded, you can see the output CSV file being here. This CSV file basically contains the group names with their group IDs in source and the same group names with the group IDs in the target. So this data will be used as an enrichment in the field mappings of forms. Similarly, select the other group ID list transform rows and upload the same CSV. You can see we have uploaded the CSV in all these 5 mappings. Now this pack is ready. We can go to this pack and change the status of this pack to published. Similarly, we can change the status of this process migration pack to published. Then we are good to perform the data migration. You can click on data migration, migrate data. Select DWPC source and the remedy target. And select all data. Click on next, next, and you can increase the threads and click on confirm migration. You can see that the data got exported. Now we can go to the migration job and click on import. Click on next. Here we can increase the number of threads. And in ID transform, we need to select selective transform. And in group IDs, we need to select prefix and give the prefix as 1. In user cache import action, we need to click on modify and click on confirm data import. The import job is completed. Now we can perform process migration. For that, click on migrate data. Select your process source and your process target. You can see the migration pack getting listed and you can select all data. Click on next, next, and we can increase the threads and click on confirm migration. We can see the process data being exported. Now we can go to the migration job and create an import job. Can increase the number of threads, and in ID transform we select selective transform. Group IDs we prefix with 1 and user cache we change it to modify and click on confirm data import. This will create the import job and we can see that import got completed. Now we can run the post migration scripts in our target. For that, we can go to the administration of target system. And we have already run the data updates. We just have to go to the track data update jobs. And run the list of scripts available here. You can see the results of the scripts once updated. And also there is some description of the script, purpose of the script under details tab. So we need to run all of these scripts according to your target version. You can refer to the documentation of the list of scripts to be run. Now we need to go ahead and run process upgrader utility. So we can see a process upgrader utility available here. This is the command to run the process upgrader utility. So this fix all action will help us to fix all the overlays and process definitions. And we need to input the target database type, target host name, port details, and the user credentials and the password, and a kind of this is the log file. We can rename it, and then once we run this process upgrader utility, we can see the IGNO file which will have what all the process that's been fixed and all the details. And in DWPC process upgrader, we can see at the end, we can see a summary of how many process variables been fixed, what expressions, how many expressions got fixed, and all these details are available in this output file. Once this process upgrader is completed, we need to restart the AR services parts. So there is another utility named fix cache. So this is the utility, and this utility will rebuild the group and user cache. So for that, we need to run the fix cache utility, provide the required input parameters. This is target IP, port, and admin username, password. And when we pass group as an input, it will regenerate the group cache. And when we pass user as input, it will regenerate the user cache. So there is a sample output when we run with user cache. It found 10 corrupted records and it has fixed it. So after running the utility, we are complete with the DWPC migration. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so let's talk about now the smart IT migration. So if you the most of the post migration steps you saw on the DWP catalog migration is because we're moving from a non-converged to converged platforms. Moving forward, you may not have many of those post migrations moving forward because of the changes is where you're seeing some of those, mainly on the overlay changes and the group and user cache fixes, because we're trying to merge the data into the group form, right? So anyway, so just want to give you that update. And yeah, let's move to the smart IT migrations. Smart IT data migration is kind of more simpler than the catalog migration. It's basically targeted to migrate to your business schema and your system schema. So basically, that's basically what it's trying to migrate all the tables listed here, or some of the main tables that it migrates from the customization preferences and all that stuff. Same thing with your provider and configuration settings and user session settings. So this migration kind of has like 8 steps. So most of the 1 to 3 are kind of the same when you're downloading the pack, registering, discovering your dictionary. The one important step on the smart IT is disabling triggers and targets. So that's one additional one. And then basically then your post migration scripts, right? So again, let's look at the demo. Again, it'll be the same thing. It'll be played by Anita.
Hello, everyone. In this video, we will go through the steps to perform a smart IT migration. First, we will do the system registrations. So for the demo purpose, we have already registered the source and target system. Let us take a look at the source system. Our source system is 2002 non-converged database. So we have registered the system of type relational database and provided all the database credentials here. And in the schemas tab, we need to provide the schema name of business and system schemas. The logical name should be given as business and system. So we can save the system and we can create the HDM user using create HDM database integration. For this, we need to provide database admin credentials. Once a HDM user is created, we will be able to get database character set. Once the database character set is obtained, we can see that system is enabled for data migration. Similarly, in the target converged database, we have registered the target of type relational database, and in the schemas tab, we need to provide the schema name as public, as this is a Postgres system, and the logical name should be given as default. For this system also, we need to create HDM integration, which will in turn create the HDM user in this database, and then we can get the database character set. In target database, we need to disable triggers using enable disable triggers. This option will temporarily disable foreign key constraints in Smart-IT tables to avoid import failures. We can enable the constraints again after data import is complete. We need to provide a database admin user credentials here. And on clicking execute, the triggers will get disabled. After registering the system, we can discover the data dictionaries using action discover data dictionary option. So on clicking discover and track, we will be able to discover the data dictionary. Let us review the discovered data dictionary. This dictionary, source dictionary, includes two sets named business and system, and we can see the list of tables getting listed under business and system. Similarly, we can take a look at the target dictionary. So this will contain all the tables in the target database. We can now configure file system connections using configurations, configure file system connections. We need to configure this for Smart-IT source and target. We can create shared or separate configurations according to the network configurations we have. Now let us take a look at the migration path. Previously, there was a clear down pack for Smart-IT. However, starting from version 22.1, this can be skipped. From version 22.1 onwards, the ITSM clear down step also clears down sample data in Smart-IT forms. Additionally, we can skip migrating data using template upgrade Smart-IT forms. Because starting from version 22.1, the ITSM pack includes the necessary Smart-IT forms as well. So we only have to consider this template upgrade Smart-IT 1805 and above, which in turn migrates the relational database data, as our target considered in this demo is 23.3. We can see a list of business forms and the system forms here. So we need to copy this template pack to our discovered source and target dictionaries. On clicking copy migration pack, our custom migration pack will get created. The one that we created for demo is this one. So we can see the tables here copied over to our pack. Now we can edit this and make the status to published. Now we are ready for migration. We can migrate data using migrate data option. Select our Smart-IT source and our demo target. We can increase the threads and then click on confirm migration. On clicking start export, we will be able to export the data. Now we can see the data got exported. We can go to the migration job and create an import job for this. We can increase the threads. And we can go with no transformation in ID transform and none in import next ID. We can also ignore the user cache import action and click on confirm data import. We can see the import is completed. Now let us move to the post migration script. We can select the target and click on administrate. We need to import the Smart-IT data update template into the HDM. And then we can click on run data updates. Select Smart-IT target and select the Smart-IT template and click on create new data update job. So this is the job that we have created, and we can click on this and click on run selected script, which will run this post migration script. The post migration script for Smart-IT primarily resets sequences associated with Smart-IT tables after migration. You can skip running this script if your target database is MS SQL. Now our data import and post migration scripts are completed. So we can go back to the target system configuration and enable the triggers. Using action enable disable trigger option. So we need to provide the database admin user credentials here, and on clicking on execute, your triggers will get disabled here. So this completes a Smart-IT migration. Thank you.
So now let's look at some troubleshooting issues. So we want to cover like two scenarios here, which we typically see with customers. One was issues seen during system registration, right? So for DWP and IT, Smart-IT, and then we'll also cover an import error in Smart-IT migration. So in the next few slides, you will see that if some incorrect details are specified in the schema, so what kind of issues you will see? Let's say you have incorrect details specified in the schema definitions, the tab, then you will basically notice that issues during a discovery, and also when you trying to do a copy of the migration pack. So let's look at that use case. So let's say in the system tab, instead of and so we have entered tenant's database name instead of the schema, right? At the end of the day, we want a schema name and not the database name. But for some reason, if you put the database name in here, let's see what happens, right? So when you do that, and then let's say you move forward and try to do a discovery, you will see that it is not even brought in any forms. So there's 0 forms, right? So discovery will happen, but you will not be able to see any forms. And if you further move on and try to do a copy of the migration pack, you will kind of see some messages like this, unable to copy. So the root cause for this is basically instead of giving your actual database name, you have to give your schema name. So once you fix the schema name, then it'll start working. So these are some of the symptoms we saw with a few customers. So we want to highlight that as a make sure you don't do a mistake. So once you do the proper schema name, then once you do the discovery, then you'll be able to see all the forms properly. So just wanted to let everyone know about that. And then for smart IT, we talked about the trigger disabling and all that, right? So if that was not done, then you will basically get some violations, right? So that's why we have to make sure that you run the database trigger step. So if you don't do that, then you will definitely see some violations on there. So yeah, with that, I will pass it over to Sam for the next couple of slides.
So we only have a couple of slides. So unfortunately, we can't be joined today by our product UX team, but they did want me to encourage if there's any customers on here interested in being a design partner. This is just a little bit about what it is, why it would be beneficial to join. I work very closely with product management and product development like Murali, where we try to get customers' feedback, and it's much better getting it from the source rather than it being passed through. So this is your opportunity to join the partnership. This next slide, we've got a QR code. If you do have your phone handy, take a screen picture now. Otherwise, we will be sharing those slides today, and where it says click here, that will be a link that will take you to sign up as well. So that's the only slides that I've got, apart from now moving to Q&A and giving our customers the opportunity to speak to us directly. So if anyone does want to come off mute, I'm just going through the process of unmuting you. I know, Murali, we had a few good questions that the team have answered. So I don't know if, first of all, if you've got some kind of key takeaways. One question I did see that came up was about it being complicated, which is kind of why we're doing these sessions, just to try and explain that actually there is a process. So maybe you could take away that opportunity to sort of say it isn't as complicated as it looks, because I think that's the biggest concern that I saw came up.
Yeah, so the DWP catalog one, as I said, so these products, right? So it had been evolved. Like we have my IT, DWP, and then we have the catalogs and all that stuff. So with the converged platform move, we basically want to give our customers a better experience. We're converging all the database to one database and have everything under your system schema, right? So that's for that, we make sure that we have this exercise to successfully get your data transformed and basically migrated. So some of these, as I said, it's a one-time thing, but again, as much as we could do, we are given automation steps for you. We're giving you scripts to run. So that's basically why the reason we thought, okay, it is. I won't say it's complicated. Yeah, there's a few steps, right? Yeah, and then we want to make sure that we communicate through the webinar. So that's the reason we did this webinar. If it's just a normal migration, then yeah, it's all self-explanatory, right? So we know we have run some certain scripts in a certain order. So that's the purpose of this webinar. So hope this is helpful.
And we will obviously be sharing out the slides and also the two separate videos. For some reason, I know that the first one wasn't very clear. I don't know if it was a bandwidth issue, but it was actually really good this morning. So those videos will be uploaded separately to YouTube, and you can also watch this as a playback as well. And we will.
And it's a give and take, right? So if either a customer on this call or a partner have done some migrations on the DWP catalog or Smart IT, if they have any other feedback, you can definitely reach out through Sam and to us. So and we can definitely include those as well. Any troubleshooting sections or video, something we can definitely do. Anything we can do to help you guys.
Yeah, and the other thing that we've spoken about as a wider team is we will be setting up a session and ask the experts. So just based on these two bits of feedback that we've had and also the sessions we've run over the course of the last couple of months, just focusing on Helix Data Manager as a tool, we will let you know on my webinar page when it will be available, but we will set up a session where we can discuss these have these type of conversations. So I will just turn back to the audience. If you do have any questions, either raise your hand or put a question in the Q&A. If not, I will give you a few minutes back of your time. And this is record for Murali.
I'm the best.
Yeah, we finished. I mean, if you do have any questions beyond here and you want to reach out, there is the community page that gets set up as an announcement post, or we will be sending out a survey with today's session that will likely come tomorrow because I've got a little bit of editing to do. If you want to follow up or want to discuss your particular environment, then please reach out through the survey and I'll put you in touch with the team.
Yeah, so I just want to bring one thing. So there's a very good, important webinar coming up tomorrow, right, Sam, on conversion of SRDs to DWP catalogs. So yeah, so if you're interested, you can definitely sign up for that. So Sam, you want to add more to it?
Yeah, it's the same time as this one has been run. It's being run by Deepak Rudra, one of our product managers for Digital Workplace. The session, I will send out the link to everyone. I did exactly that this morning because somebody actually was asking about SRD migration, and I said, you're in luck. We've got a session tomorrow on the 31st, so I will send that out to everyone post-event. Before I send everything else out, I'll send you a separate email for those that have joined. And if you want to register, there's still time to do that, and that's going to be run tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me, Murali.
No worries. Again, as Sam said, we will do a consolidated Q&A for any HDM topic. So please do join, and if you want to send us your questions. So Sam, is that a way to send them?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. If you just pop it into the survey, there's an opportunity to write a little bit of text, or my details are also on the community page. I don't mind you reaching out because we have quite a big panel today as well.